I'm frankly getting tired of how the mainstream media is hiding the truth from us. They're going to raise the debt limit, but all they're really doing is dumping all that debt on us, the taxpayers. Seriously, guys, have you noticed that they just hired a whole bunch of new IRS agents? They said it was just for the rich, just like when income tax first came out ages ago, right? But come on, we all know it is not just for the rich. They keep changing the rules just to screw us over. You remember the recession? Well, Germany just officially entered one. Check it out.
Germany was going to have a miraculous escape and sort of defy economic gravity until yesterday, when the German Statistics Agency released these figures that showed the German economy contracted very slightly in the first 3 months of this year, having contracted a little bit more at the end of last year. So here we are with, in Europe, what's considered to be a technical recession. It wouldn't be considered to be a recession necessarily in the US, where we put more stress on the jobs market. But the outlook is not great. It does not look as if Germany is going to suddenly bound back into strong growth.
Now, you guys remember when we hit 2 quarters of negative GDP growth in the US economy, right? Then they up and changed the definition of the recession just so that we could say that we weren't in one. Well, it certainly feels like we're in a recession now. Am I right, guys? Just drop me a quick comment down below. Now, what's really sad is how so many Americans are just taking it all in and accepting all this stuff that they're piling onto us as normal, even though it's messing up our lives and our families. Now, another sign of a recession: Costco customers are now bypassing the beef aisle to shop for chicken and pork. Now, based on the comments that I'm reading, some people cannot even afford basic meat anymore. There are many who have their heads in the sand, but those are the same people who always fail in life because they're too scared to meet something head on and defeat it by planning, preparing, and putting it into action. So yeah, we got to stay strong here in our financial freedom, fam. That's why we're also watching this debt ceiling deal happen in Congress. Some say that there could be major stock winners coming from this legislation. We got to check that out. And the last horseman of the apocalypse: bank consolidation. Senator Elizabeth Warren called it the single biggest threat to our banking system. I mean, a handful of banks and big money CEOs handling all of Americans' money. Oh, what could go wrong with that, right? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out in today's financial update video, so definitely stick around, guys. Also, for the very best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below this video. Don't miss out on that. So first up, a lot of people are switching up their beef for pork and chicken, just doing what they can in preparation for a recession. Retail giant Costco confirms as much. Now, in a recent call with investors, executives from the warehouse chain, they shared insights into how their members are shopping, what they're swapping into their baskets, and what's being left behind. CFO Richard Galanti, he said that some of their customers are ditching pricier beef products for cheaper meats such as chicken and pork. Good thing for me, I always ate chicken anyway. I didn't really eat too much of the beef. But according to their financial data, this is a trend that has been common in previous recessions. Others are bypassing the fresh meat aisle entirely and opting for canned meat and fish products. I don't know about the fish though. The fish is kind of expensive. Anyway, it's pretty obvious that these items cost a little bit less for the most part, and they have a little bit longer shelf life, at least for the canned goods. But of course, you got tons of preservatives, so okay, you save some money, but then you shorten your lifespan. This investor call really showed a good glimpse into what's happening in people's households. So for example, the portion of sales from Costco's private label brand Kirkland grew the most during this recent quarter. These products cost a little bit less than the national brands and are a quick way for customers to save money on their weekly stop. Now, me personally, I think the Kirkland brand is pretty good. Even if we weren't in a recession, I'd be buying that brand anyway. Why waste money just because you have a little extra, right? Anyway, plus the average daily transaction at Costco was down 4.2% worldwide and 3.5% in the US during the quarter. Costco said that this number was primarily impacted by the drop in sales of big ticket non-food items such as TVs and refrigerators. So yeah, people ain't buying TVs and refrigerators anymore. Really just sticking to the essentials at this point. Now, I wonder if there's an opportunity to be made when electronics and appliances drop prices like a rock. I mean, we're even seeing some higher income shoppers switch their weekly shopping routine entirely. Discount chains like the Dollar Tree and the Dollar General, they're saying that they've been big beneficiaries to this economic downturn and are seeing a new customer base come to their store to shop for groceries. What about you guys? Where have you been shopping lately to save money? Any changes in the stuff that you normally buy? why? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in the other things that we've switched up around the house, whether it's because of high prices or the toxic chemicals that we found in them. We could definitely make a whole nother video on that one if you guys want. Anyway, talking about a recession, I really hate it when people say that these tough times are a matter of building character. The 2008 financial crisis brought millions of Americans to the breaking point when they were faced with losing their homes, their houses, their livelihoods, and their businesses of how many years, and even husbands. Yeah, lots of us lost people due to the Great Recession. Now, I don't know how much character building I gained out of all of that. And now, here we go again. We're seeing even our children lose their jobs and seniors in dire need of a job at 60 plus years old with a disability. The human cost of these cycles is just huge, guys. I'm just saying. Now, just to prepare for these coming layoffs, here's some advice from HR experts. See, ultimately, you're not really in control of your employer's decisions, but you can control how well you perform in the meantime, how prepared you are in case of a layoff, and how to respond in the event of a layoff. Start by trimming your spending. Pack your lunch, pass on the Starbucks every now and then. It also would not hurt to update your resume. Update your LinkedIn profile if you have one. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, it might be time to make one. It's where most employers look for employees nowadays. And while you're at it, you can check out some job opportunities as well. Reach out to your friends, your family, and local communities. If they end up firing you, make sure you negotiate a very good severance package. They'll most likely offer you a standard package up front, but you know that there's always some wiggle room in there. You may also want to review the requirements to apply for unemployment in your state should you be laid off. You can also look into some other potential streams of income like the stock market. For example, they're saying some hot investment money is going to be coming in thanks to all that debt ceiling deal that they're inking up in Congress. Shares in pipeline company Equitrans Midstream surged when they announced this deal because the agreement contained a surprising call to speed up the creation of a stalled natural gas pipeline called the Mountain Valley Pipeline, which Equitrans is the lead developer of. Hence, the stock ended the day up around 35%. Wall Street's also betting that lending company SoFi will cash in from the debt ceiling deal because it calls for borrowers to start paying back federal student loans at the end of the summer. SoFi is a leader in the student loan refinancing space, and as a result of the deal announcement, SoFi shares jumped 5%. Meanwhile, the debt ceiling deal would shift a total of $20 billion in IRS funding from fiscal 2024 and fiscal 2025 to be used in non-defense areas. That loss of funding to the IRS is a positive for both H&R Block and TurboTax owner Intuit because it lowers the odds that the IRS will build an expansive electronic tax filing system. And as for the overall big picture, the debt ceiling deal looks like a win for the stock market investors because it removes the nightmare of a default or a near default through January 2025 without resorting to the kinds of spending cuts that would threaten the economy. Goldman Sachs summed the deal up this way, quote, "Major reduction in uncertainty, minor reduction in spending," end quote. So yeah, if you're considering checking out the stock market, this would be a good time to read up on it. Now, of course, make sure you always do your homework, guys, do your due diligence. These companies that I mentioned, they could be a good start, but only if it fits your financial situation and your risk appetite. Do your own homework. This is not financial advice. Oh, and always remember, guys, diversify, diversify, diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one financial basket. That's why we're all about adding to those income streams right here on the channel, right? It's just sad to see some people have given up. People have given up. They've just never been shown the importance of having multiple streams of income so that you can manage through these downturns. These are the people who will have nothing and they will be happy. You guys have heard that phrase before, right? Now, I'm not peddling fear here, guys. Instead, I'm peddling financial education, financial preparedness, something that they really don't teach much in schools. Now, one thing to watch out for, bank consolidation. Senate Democrats warned regulators against allowing big banks to grow even bigger, saying the trend was posing a threat to the financial system. Senator John Tester says it goes all the way back to the 2008 financial recession. You notice how it always goes back to that? Now, I'm definitely seeing a pattern here. Anyway, here's what he said, quote, "In 2008, we railed on regulators. We railed and railed and railed because they didn't do their job. And you know what they ended up doing? They ended up regulating the hell out of the banking industry to the point where we made the bigger banks bigger. Regulations need to fit the risk. My concern is that these community banks that don't have a risky portfolio may end up paying the price," end quote. Well, that's not good. Senator Elizabeth Warren even mentioned that the nation's largest bank, JP Morgan Chase, has already gotten bigger as a result of the recent banking crisis after regulators approved a deal this month to let the mega bank purchase First Republic Bank's assets at a huge discount, by the way. Because, there were other buyers, and as Warren pointed out, other potential buyers would have presented less of a threat to the country's economic stability. Now, as Warren put it, quote, The single biggest threat to the United States banking system is concentration. You choose the one that gives us more concentration in the system. I am very troubled by that decision, end quote. I mean, we really got to start asking these important questions and hold the people in power accountable, right? And on top of that, this is like putting more of our eggs into this one big, huge basket. This is already a big no-no. We know that. But here's what University of Pennsylvania had to say about the bank consolidation. Bank consolidation will reduce consumer choice and give surviving banks virtual monopolies. I think that's about obvious. So this concentration can lead to a situation where a smaller number of banks hold significant influence over the financial system and they have the ability to shape economic policies. And what happens if those big banks fail? And if we lose that competitive and diverse market, what's probably going to follow are even more unfair practices and reduced access to financial services, particularly for smaller businesses and for individuals. You guys want to see your credit card bills go sky high while your deposit rates drop like a rock for your savings account? That's what could happen with bank consolidation. Yep, definitely some scary stuff out here, guys. In today's financial update and daily news report, the real deal with the debt ceiling bill, the recession's already here, and some pro tips for you guys to prepare for the worst, like layoffs and even the worst of economic downturns. By the way, guys, you should see 2 videos above my head. Go ahead and click on those videos and check out the next one. But hey, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you for always hitting the like button, and I always appreciate that. Appreciate you guys here on the channel. Big old hug from me to you. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe.